Hey folks, it's another adventure. We're going back north east to the North York Moors again. We so enjoyed it the last 2 times we went, so we thought we'd give it another journey for the weekend. Join us on the adventure. After figuring out we were going back to East Yorkshire, we decided to give ourselves a bit of a challenge. We did some research into some of the birds we might see and chose 5 specifically that we wanted to see. The challenge was to see and photograph all of these 5 birds. The first bird was an avocet. These were once very rare in the UK. The numbers have increased, but they're still by no means common. It is a bird I've seen before many times, but I still enjoy seeing it, and I wanted to try and see if we could get some pictures of young avocets. These are a category 1 species, which means they're protected in the UK. The second bird is a black-browed albatross. This bird may be the only one of its kind in the Northern Hemisphere. It's mega rare. I have seen it before about a month or so ago, but it's worth seeing again. The third bird is a goshawk. These again are category 1 species in the UK, so are protected. I've never seen one and Kaylee's never seen one. She's really eager to find one. Bird number 4 is a glossy ibis. The numbers of these being sighted in the UK are increasing, but they're still scarce, with only 20 or 30 birds being seen every year. This is a bird neither of us have seen. The final bird on our list is a little ringed plover. These birds are also category 1, so they are protected. I have only seen this bird once and Kaylee's never seen this bird, so fingers crossed. We have a nearly 4-hour drive ahead of us. It's now 6:10. After a reasonably quick and trouble-free drive, we got close to our destination and saw some great animals on the way, including a tawny owl, a red kite, a hare and a deer. We finally arrived. We parked up in a car park at Scarborough Raptor Viewpoint. After a quick walk round, we settled down for the night and woke up the following morning to a lovely dawn chorus. We headed through the forest quite early in the morning to look for our first target species, the goshawk. As last time we were there, we did notice evidence of predatory birds that could be goshawk. Finally, when walking through the woods, we came into the clearing that looked over the valley. The view was stunning, but there were no raptors about. We waited for a while, and after a quick search around some of the local farmland, we decided to move on to the next target species. After driving about an hour and a half inland, we made it to Staveley Nature Reserve, which is part of Yorkshire Wildlife Trust, this time looking for a glossy ibis. So we're at Staveley Yorkshire Wildlife Trust Nature Reserve. We're looking for a reported glossy ibis. Nothing had been reported online today yet, but we took a chance and come here, and we've spotted 2 people who had a chat to them, and they've said it's showing pretty well. So we're aiming for the hide now. Fingers crossed. These scarce visitors to the UK usually have their home in Africa, Eastern Europe, Australia and parts of North America. After heading to a surprisingly empty hide, we searched around and reasonably quickly Kaylee spotted the glossy ibis in her scope. Although reasonably far away, it was really lovely to see. This bird was smaller than I expected, not much bigger in body size than a jackdaw. It did go to sleep for a while, but it kept waking up because the wind kept blowing it off balance. We were both very happy to see this glossy ibis. And not only that, it's a lifer for both of us. The next part of our journey took us to Saltholm RSPB Reserve, which was about an hour away. This reserve's in a bit of an unusual place. We drove through a big housing estate, and the surrounding area is really industrialised with power stations and factories. So unfortunately the backdrop when in the reserve isn't the prettiest to see. Although when in the reserve, all of the staff were very helpful. We had great views of stock dove from the visitors building. Also, one of the staff showed us where we might see Mediterranean gulls. These are a rare breeding British bird, and here we're amongst a colony of black-headed gulls and common terns. They also told us where we were likely to see our target species, the avocet and the little ringed plover. After getting to the correct hide, we found the avocets were showing very well. I started off by photographing some adults, but then a young avocet came very near to me and I was able to get some really nice footage of it feeding. The young of the avocets were all different ages. I was looking for the really little ones and they didn't disappoint. Quite a few were feeding near us and they were so super cute. After being distracted by a wonderful looking dunlin, our other target species, the little ringed plover, showed up. At first quite far away, but then it flew right in front of the hide and put on quite a show for us. These are lovely little birds. This bird fed in front of us for quite a while and then flew off to join its partner that was a little bit further away. So that's another 2 successful birds off our list. And on the way out we saw some lovely lapwing and a wonderful sedge warbler singing away to its heart's content. After leaving RSPB Saltholm, we decided to go and get some dinner. And what better place than Whitby? We only visited there last week, but we enjoyed the fish and chips so much. We thought it would be the perfect place. But before we had dinner, Kaylee really wanted to go and see the Abbey, so we climbed the many steps to get to it. But it didn't disappoint. It was a stunning building, and the views from it were tremendous. We decided to try and take the cobbled street back instead of the steps. That was a bad move. It was so steep. After that long walk, we went back to Papa's Fish and Chips, this time got a takeaway and sat on the front of the harbour and ate our meal. It was gorgeous. We did have some company though. Then it was time to jump in the car for another hour and head to our stop for the night, which was RSPB Bempton Cliffs. We have visited Bempton Cliffs a couple of times in the last month or so, as you may have seen in previous videos, but there's a very special bird there. So after a bit of a walk in the sunset and some time watching a barn owl hunting, we settled down for the night. We woke up early to an incredibly busy car park. Hi folks, we're back at RSPB Bempton Cliffs again, third time in the last kind of 4 or 5 weeks. We slept here last night in the car park. In the car, it was quite a nice evening last night actually. Took a stroll down the cliffs. It was really nice. The only drawback was there were cars coming in very early this morning. The one next to us, I think, parked up at about 4:30. I can hear a load of baby tree sparrows just behind the camera, which is cool. Let's see if we can go and see Albie. So we got ourselves sorted and headed down to the cliff, and on the way the ever wonderful tree sparrow. When we got down to the cliffs there were plenty of gannets and other birds about, but after speaking to a few people we found out that Albie the albatross was roosting on the cliffs beneath us out of sight. So I set about photographing some of the other birds, hoping for Albie to fly out and make an appearance. The birds are amazing here. I took some great pictures of gannets, kittiwakes and razorbills. And we got to see a wonderful although unusual sight of a couple of puffins fighting in the water below us. We waited around for a bit, had some breakfast, came back. Still a no-show from Albie. A lot of people had walked round the headland to try and get a view of him roosting. As time was getting on, I decided to have a look as well. I did manage to find him on the cliffs, but he was so far away, so getting any footage or photographs were really difficult. I got a little video that was quite shaky and a bit of a blurred photograph, but it was cool to see. So we were successful in seeing and photographing that target species. Then it was time to say goodbye to Bempton Cliffs and head home. And happily we'd seen 4 of the 5 target species we came to see. We'll do another search for the goshawk in future. That'll be in another video. So after another long drive home, we shut the boot on our weekend home. Until next time, thank you very much for watching. Please like and please subscribe.